Ladies and gentlemen, joining me is the former one half of the Beatdown 6 Promotions co-main event, Jake Piper. He's from Dunstan Death Squad. He's a stud of an amateur fighter, I believe 9-2 in his amateur career. I mean, so much so that his first ever pro fight, as he was scheduled to take on Issei Moriyama, was the co-main event in a major MMA promotion in Beatdown Promotions, run by the great former UFC fighter Damian Brown. You know that means he is a stud of a fighter. And look, the fight fell through because Issei Moriyama got injured. He had to withdraw. And some stuff happened where Jake Piper had some major health issues, which he goes into. But there was some stuff online where he was thrown and offered some fights with Kasib Murdoch. They wanted to sort of make that fight, who's a 10-0 amateur in himself. And there was a bit of back and forth online and some people chirping about Jake not wanting the fight and a few controversies and whatnot. And Jake just hit me up and he said, hey, man, I want the space to come on here and have a chat and just let everyone know kind of what was going down. And, I mean, that's why I created this channel is I want to get the voice out there. So if there is an issue, that he could sort of just come on and let everyone know, like, the facts from his mouth, because the bloody media. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome you to he was one of the most highly anticipated pro debutants in Australian MMA in recent time. But without further ado, Jake Piper. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the man of the moment, Jake Piper. How are you?
Good, mate. How are you? Thanks for having me on here.
Good. I'm kind of getting rewarded for stirring the pot and then getting you on as a guest. But to be fair, mate, I just relayed information that was out there. Now, your opponent, Issei Moriyama, tore his ACL, I believe. I don't know if that's public, if I've just made it public. And that happened actually a little while ago, and they were trying to find you an opponent. Beatdown Promotions then announced that your fight was off and you're not on the card anymore. A new co-main event was on. I then just put out that you weren't on anymore, and a whole lot of sort of comments back and forth about trying to offer you fights, maybe you turning down a few fights or whatnot. And there's a bit of confusion. So can you run it through your perspective, the timeline and how everything happened?
Well, yeah, the Issei obviously pulled out, and I wish him a speedy recovery. I'm pretty sure he's done everything in his knee, ACL, whatever else is in there. It's bad. So there's no cons with him pulling out. Like, all good. I hope him the best. I wish Damo like the best with the fight card going on without me and him, and I thank him for giving me the opportunity to. But with putting another fight on, like after Issei pulled out, I was crook. I've been crook this whole fight camp. I've had some other stuff going on. Like I was in hospital. Yeah, there was no point in me looking for another fight this close. Like after he pulled out, now that I'm not pulling out on anyone in particular, then I'll just call the thing off for my own safety and for my well-being and my longevity.
We all understand that and applaud that, of course. Another amateur that has had as much hype as yourself is a man by the name of Kasib Murdoch. Did that get floated to you at all?
How do I say it? It does nothing for me. It does nothing for me. He's another dude on debut. The whole point of me fighting someone like Issei was, so after I beat Issei, I had a leg to stand on and say, I want this person next. I want that person, someone higher up. If I beat Kasib, it doesn't do anything for me. Like the UFC just sees a 0-0 dude that I beat. Yeah, like I like the dude. He's a good kid and all, but it doesn't do nothing for me. And I'm on a set path to try and get to the UFC, and I'm not going to let some people in the comment section stir the pot into me making a wrong decision.
But is it still not now? Regardless of even if you agreed to that fight early, you still probably would have had to pull out just with all the staff and everything and all that sort of stuff, right? So that's understandable. But in terms of not taking the fight and us wondering why, some people might say, but it's still a fight. You're still getting a pro fight. Isn't it better than being inactive?
Not really. Not in my opinion. That's like dating a girl because there's no one else around. It's not the same at all. It's like picking a girl up at the club that you don't even like and saying, "Oh, this is it. I guess I'll stay with her." It's, so
Actually
that's
makes a
probably
lot
the
of
best
sense.
analogy to it. I'm not gonna do it for the sake of it. I only get a certain amount of goes at this in my lifetime, and that anyone goes, and I'm not going to waste it right now. I'll fight Kasib. I've got no problems with that. But right now, one, I've got health issues. Two, it does nothing for me. Me and Kasib can meet up later when I'm sure he's going to be another top dude in the division soon. Yeah, but as of right now, it does nothing for either of us.
But can't someone just kind of turn around and say that to you? Like, why should a guy who's maybe 5-0, or say 10 fights into his career, why should he fight a guy that's on his debut?
Because I've got every single win is the finish but one, and all of his the decisions. That's why, without trying to sound cocky, mate, that's why all these promotions want me, because I'm flatlining people, because I'm choking people out violently. And like I said before, I like Kasib, but he's not doing that.
So if there was another guy that was on debut, but maybe you thought, had a bit more finish, bit more hype to his name, you would take that fight?
Who is there?
I mean, it's a valid point.
Yeah.
In terms of what you're sort of creating. So I do understand that. They had to. Do you have a list of guys that you kind of will fight? Because the pool with what you kind of require, and some guys maybe not wanting to fight a guy on debut because you've got such a big career, and in the amateurs, if they lose, they lost to a guy on debut. That really, really hurts them. So you might have a few guys that don't want to fight you. Do you know how many guys out there you have available?
Well, I've just got from Jeremy Green, the manager, that over the last 48 hours, we've got heaps of options from different promoters that fit that criteria of like a win over that person or shoot me higher. So now all this is coming in, but I've still got some health issues I've got to deal with.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what are the health issues? Are they short term? Is it long term? Is it something you're on top of?
Well, I got staph. I got it real bad at the start of the fight camp. Like, I ended up in hospital for a few days on the drip. Yeah, it fucked me up pretty bad. Like, my leg was like a sausage of one big cankle. But yeah, it did some damage. It did some damage. I can send you photos of that later on, but it was bad. Put me out of training for about 2-3 weeks. Some other stuff going on too. And then once I thought all that was smooth sailing, staph again, different place. But yeah.
I mean, you're young into your I wouldn't say spotlight, because obviously you've been there for a while, but now that you start heading pro, there's a lot more people that have, accomplished careers saying a lot more things. Did it get to you at all, having people jump in the comments?
I can't lie about it. It did. I'm a hothead. Like, things get to me. I can't lie about it. It really did. Especially when I'm on my path, and then I've just got these people that I don't even know about in the comment section saying, trying to tell me how it is and what I should do. That's like going up to a builder and saying, "Hey brother, can I have a job? Also, I'm going to line up your next jobs. Is that all right?"
I mean, I would like to think that they're maybe just looking out for their guy. I don't think it's necessary critiques on you.
Yeah, I get that. But when I commented back saying I was crook and people kept commenting, that was what got me.
Yeah. And if anyone, I mean, because you know very well that you come on here, right? You could be as truthful as anything. You could say it all, and they're still just going to be like, "Nah, bitch, doesn't want to fight." Like, it's like, it's never going to end.
I get that. And like I said, I am a fucking hothead, and it does get to me. But I guess they're just gonna have to miss out for a bit until shit starts happening, and I'll just be angry for a bit longer.
Well, so the critique on people having a problem with you having this plan towards your pro career, as opposed to just sort of fighting anyone, anywhere, anytime. Not to say that you don't want to, but you've got this, you're a pro fighter, so you're looking at it like a business, which I actually understand, and I respect that. But what do you say to the younger fighters that are maybe in the amateur scene right now? Would you implore them that, like, no, don't be the guy that fights anyone, anywhere, anytime?
As an amateur, do that. As an amateur, fight anyone at any time. That's where you get all the experience. When you turn pro and shit starts to matter, you only get a certain amount of head knocks in your life. You only get a certain amount of, like, goes at this the universe gives you. And if you're going to waste it all on just anyone, anytime when you're not supposed to, then like your opportunities are going to run out. But as an amateur, we got a young fellow in the gym now, Thomas Shellhammer, that's sort of following my path. And that's what we're saying here is take anything at any time, bro. You're an amateur. It's all experience. It's like an apprenticeship. And then once you get to the level, that's when you have to start worrying about things and doing things right. Because like you said, it's gone from your hobby to your business.
And I mean, you're with Dunstan Death Squad and a lot of Ignite and all those guys. You've got Sean Gauchi, a lot of these guys that have really sort of forged their own sort of pro career. Do you take a lot of guidance from them?
Yeah, I do. And saying that too, they've made mistakes that they tell me. Not like I won't name any names in particular, but I was talking to a guy a while ago, not from our gym, but he was saying there was a time where he just took any fight was possible. He fought the dude on debut when he was a couple fights in. He went debut against debut, and he took fights that didn't do nothing for him. And he got nearly 10 fights in. The UFC only just started to look at him. Whereas I can point out Tom Nolan straight away. He fought top dudes early, had 4 fights and went contender. So he's taken less head knocks, less trauma of the body. Like it's not. I know we're in a sport where we're supposed to be tough, but why be stupid and just take more than we need?
I mean, I do like how you're looking at it. I mean, I think the sport and the fans have been accustomed to you're supposed to reward the guy that will fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. But as soon as he loses 3 in a row and gets cut, we forget about him. So yeah. I do like that aspect. And it's pro, you're a business. Like you have to make smart business decisions. Now, have you planned it out, with your manager, Jeremy, Ryan Dunstan, your team? Do you know how many fights you need and when you want and what guys you want?
Well, without a crystal ball, maybe we've seen other people take the path. We can guess it as close as we can and just try our best. If we have to change something up along the way, we do. But as of right now, the kickoff is to get that opponent that shoots me into being able to say, I want that person, and that person.
Who is that?
Right now, it's just with someone over about 6 fights that has a bit of a name that's a wild fight that's good. And then after that, I want to call for Philpott. I know he's had 40 fights, but I reckon I can beat him. And same thing, no disrespect. I just reckon he's one of those top dudes that I want to fight, and then that puts me in line to fight Costa. Same thing. I reckon he's a good dude. I've never met him though. Everything he puts up seems nice, seems like respectful and that, but he's that top dude that I want. And he's probably going to look at this and think, what a fuckwit fucking debut, dude. But it's going to happen. And we're going to meet one day. But I can't beat debut dudes and say that I want him. I need to beat someone with a level, and then I can say I want to go up.
I mean, I'd love to critique it, but you're putting together like a decent argument. It's not the most necessarily like fan friendly one, because you go, well, yeah, just get some dubs and then maybe you get it. But it's like, I like what you're saying is like, you only have so many holes that can be punched in the card type thing. It's like, once you're up, you're up. And you might have, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out a number here. Say you have 48 head knocks left in your career, whatever, be a lot more than that. And let's say Sean has 20 and someone else has 150. And it's like, it doesn't matter how good you are. At the end of the day, you hit that quote unquote punch drunk, whether you like it or not, at whatever certain point. So you could win all these fights against debutants, but you're in wars because they're all skilled. Yeah. And so I think I personally understand it, and hopefully everyone kind of else does as well. But I guess it's like, well, what's next? How far away until we see you? When is the health going to get back on track?
I can't answer that for sure, mate. Like I don't know. I thought it was done, and all of a sudden, boom, it's back. So I have no idea. I've just got to wait. I've got to take my course of antibiotics. I've got to have more than 1 shower a week. I've got to scrub myself thoroughly and all that. And, what else?
Has Shawnee Gauchi, I mean, he's had his own troubles with health and whatnot. Has he given you any advice on that?
Yeah, he just said he gave me like antibacterial sort of soap to wash. Not gave me, but told me I needed to go get it and all that sort of stuff. He said put antibacterial stuff in my washing machine, just wash everything thoroughly, and I have been. And it's just back again, so I don't know. Maybe it's
I think
maybe it's stress because my business is down.
I was gonna say, I think more to the fact of like Sean copped a lot of shit for 2 years of
Yeah.
ducking guys, not fighting guys, pulling out, and it was a lot to do with his like health, which we don't give a shit about as fans. Which and like you said, you know, the comments, the people that say stuff, it does get to you a little bit. Has he given you any advice on that, on how to block that out and look after your health first?
Um, in that sense, I think me and Sean are really different people. He's really calm, and all that stuff doesn't get to as much. Whereas I see someone not put their trolley back in the bay at Woolworths, and I fucking just want to end them. That's where me and Sean are different. I'm way too much of a hothead to even, yeah. All that shit gets to me way more than Sean. Like I know who I am, and I'll be honest about it. It does get to me, and it doesn't get to Sean as much. So Sean can't really give me advice in that area, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you're telling me that if you saw more posts about comments about you, that would make you go back and forth with them and help for social engagement. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
You know what you're doing, hey?
Mate, before I let you go, because I do appreciate you taking the time. You've kind of got the spaces. Is there anything that you want people to know before? Look, realistically, you probably do go away for a while from the media until you are ready to fight again. So, is there anything that you want people to kind of know, take into consideration?
Yeah, the people that are, like you said, it's not the fans aren't really concerned about their health, like fighters' health. They're only concerned about the fights, and not just fans, like other people in other people's gym, all that sort of stuff. Fuck those people. It's my career. If I'm unhealthy, then I'm not going to take a fight for their fucking eyeballs. It's my health. Fuck those people. They can wait. They can wait. It's my career. It's my longevity. It's my health. If they have a problem with that, then maybe watch a different sport.
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time. I really do appreciate it. And I'm here anytime you want to have a chat.
Sweet. Thank you, bro. Thanks for having me on too. Cheers, brother.
Anytime, legend.